Hey everyone, Brandon here with another episode of SexxPerTease, and today's question is, why, after having a seemingly great encounter, do men just disappear and never respond to any texts and never talk to you again? I do wish I knew the answer to this for the many times it's happened to me, but it's happened to everyone, so good to know I'm not the only one. First, I guess the first reason could possibly be that men are liars. Like, some guys just have a hard time of telling you the truth, and even if they did enjoy their time, they know that they don't see you as a relationship material, or that it was just a good, like, one night stand, so they don't want to see you again, but they'll still say, I'll text you later, I'll call you later. I mean, I had an encounter happen recently where I just hung out with this guy, and it was horrible. Like, he took me to Taco Bell, and I was like, fuck this, we never even left his disgustingly dirty car, and, like, he even told me at the end he'd text me back, but I had no interest in ever seeing him again. And then it's been like 2 weeks, and then he messaged me on OkCupid, I guess, after I looked at his profile to see like if he had any like better pictures than he did on Hornet. But anyway, he like messages me at like 2 a.m. to say that he feels like such a dick and he's sorry that he never told me that after meeting that he wasn't interested. And then I was just like, what the fuck? Like, firstly, I never wanted to see you again, which is why I never contacted you again after meeting you, which I told him, and he's like, oh, I guess that makes sense too. But I mean, I guess if I actually cared or had made an effort to contact him again, and like made it seem like I was still interested, I would have been nice to receive an apology for why he disappeared, but seeing that I didn't care since I wasn't interested, like, it's just like, I know we're not compatible, so that's why I didn't talk to you again. Which happens too, like, I guess if it's after a seemingly good time, it's more shocking to know, like, why wouldn't a guy want to see me again? Even if we had, like, a great hookup and then he's just like, that was fun, like, but just not worth the effort of seeing again. I don't know. There's so many possible explanations. Like, first, they could just say they're having a good time and make you believe they're having a good time when inside they're miserable, so I guess they're a good liar and actor. Like, some men are like that. They refuse to, like, be honest or tell you how they really feel, and I guess it's too awkward to like tell someone on the date, you know what, I just don't see this going further, so I'm gonna leave. But I mean, I've walked out in the middle of dates before, so I do think you don't want to be rude or I guess make a person feel horrible and ruin their day, but it's also better to be honest than lead someone on, because lying, I think, is the worst thing you could ever do to someone, and I refuse to like lie, and I'll never tell a guy that I'm gonna text you back or I'll text you later when I'm not going to. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And if I have no intention of doing something, I'm not going to say that I'm going to do it. So I don't like to say, I'm going to text you again, or like, we should totally see each other again, when I know that I don't want to. So I just think it's great to make that perfectly honest and clear when someone does message you again and you don't feel the same way, that you should shoot them down. Like, just tell them you're not interested or you didn't see them in that type of way. I do think another reason why guys disappear is because everyone holds on to these like fictional, like fairy tale versions of what their ideal mate is going to be, even though that's completely like unrealistic, and you're never going to find anyone that's absolutely 100% perfect. I mean, I don't believe in settling for like someone that you know you're not attracted to, or like you know that isn't really what you want, because you shouldn't try to force yourself to be in a relationship, because what if this person's like madly in love with you, but like you just don't feel the same way about them? That's just going to end in heartbreak and disappointment and bitterness, and that's how people get murdered. Anyway, you just need to like be open-minded to like what your ideal mate is, but also you have to like give realistic chances to other people, and sometimes guys will like go out of their way and they'll like give this person a chance and they know they're like not what they like. They might not have the body that their perfect person has, or they're not as like masculine or as feminine as whoever they want, or they're not as smart or successful or worldly and cultured or as funny. But you know what? Some things aren't as important as other things. Like, as long as you have a attraction and mutual caring about each other, I think that's all that it fundamentally breaks down to, and what you need in an ideal mate. But some guys don't see that, and they have this idea of what they want, and I do think guys, like, I know I do, I compartmentalize people as soon as I meet them. Like, you can usually tell, like, even after, like, give a guy a chance, like, I know if I'm meeting up with a guy and he's it's not my ideal type, but you know what? It's a free dinner and a date, and I love dates, so whatever, I'll give them a chance. And then, like, as soon as you meet, you, like, look at them, you see them up and down, and then you either categorize them as, like, I'm definitely not hooking up with this person, like, we're just gonna have dinner and then say goodbye, or, like, I definitely want to hook up with this person, like, I don't think they're probably, like, boyfriend material, but, like, we can have good sex after the date, or we're just gonna fuck and goodbye, and maybe if it's good, I'll see him again. Maybe if it's not, it's whatever. Like, I don't even care if I see him again, or, like, if he hits me up again, I'll say yes, or whatever. And there's some guy that you're just like, oh my god, I'm immediately in love. I want to date him forever. Even though he might not feel the same way, and that's always, like, it's a two-way street. Like, you may see someone as one way, and they'll see you as another way, and we're all looking for someone that sees us the same way that we see them, which is really hard to do, but sometimes they just won't respond because they know that if they see you as, like, a hookup, but you want to see them as boyfriend material, like, they know that they can't give you what you want, so they'll just disappear, as opposed to, like, wanting to hurt your feelings. You know, do you think it's worse to be ignored than actually be rejected? Because I feel like it's so disrespectful to ignore someone. Like, that's, like, one of the most rude and disrespectful things you could ever do to someone. So I'd rather a guy tell me I'm not their type or you don't like me. Like, you don't have to list every single thing you hate about me, because that's just, like, worse and unnecessary. Like, if you're not interested, just say you're not interested, and then end of conversation. Like, I definitely think I go more psycho on guys if they ignore me than as if they were to reject me full on, because rejection is better than being ignored, and I wish more men understood that. So next time someone does message you and you know you don't want to see them again, just reject them instead of ignoring them, because closure is good for everyone. And I know you don't want to hurt their feelings, but you're actually pissing them off even more by ignoring them, because you're basically saying you're not worth a response in, like, a text message. Like, it takes no effort to send a text. Like, everyone can be worth the effort to send a text message to reject. So don't ignore people. If you don't like someone and they're not your type, tell them, because ignoring doesn't accomplish anything except make you an enemy that will maybe plot revenge against you one day. So I do think guys just ignore people because they don't see you the same way that you see them. They're too scared to hurt your feelings, even though they're really hurting you even more. And that they just don't see you as their ideal mate and don't think you're worth seeing again. I mean, that is what boils down to. If a guy doesn't want to respond, he obviously doesn't care enough to see you again. It's really unlikely that his phone broke. And I have had that happen to me before, but if he's not texting you back, he's not interested. I hope that helped answer your question, and join me again for another episode of SexxPerTease.